2024 was a turning point for cannabis in sports, and today we're diving into why and how things will continue to change in 2025. But before we do, today's video is brought to you by RealDGC.com. If you want to connect with our private community of premium growers, get grow tips from some of the best growers around the world, and get access to exclusive Dude Grow Show content, membership is free, and you can become a DGC producer if you want to help support the value that we bring you here. Head on over to RealDGC.com and get signed up today. All right, back to the show. All right, Scotty, let's do this. First off, let's talk a little bit why athletes use cannabis, man. It's number one, I believe, literally medicinally, pain management.
Yeah, I mean, all sorts of medicinal benefits there. And you talk about, physically you could be aching, but man, mentally too. There's a tremendous amount of pressure, mental pressure, and just stress put on an athlete. So just to be able to relax, and man, that's all related to healing, right? If you can relax your brain a little bit and get a good night's sleep, you get to heal. So I think it's huge.
I remember one of your favorite pictures is Arnold Schwarzenegger back in the day. He's just after a comp, bodybuilding, just puffing on a fat J, man. And that one reason for that also is there's a lot less risk for addiction. Some of the other options, depending on what painkillers or things you're looking at, or the doctor's trying to get you going on, you can get really addicted to that shit.
Yeah, 100% right. And those opioids are very easily to get addicted. I think it's hard to not get addicted to those. But I got to shout out Arnold Schwarzenegger. That was him winning Mr. Universe, grabbing the trophy, coming back, and then going, I won, and lighting a giant joint like a cigar, man. So that's what made it go down.
The debate, though, quickly, is it performance enhancing? Do they need to be worrying about, restricting cannabis use in the athletes because it enhances their performance? It could be a difference for each sport. Does it? Maybe I think it could. I think I could play better tennis high.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but can you get a better recovery if at 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. You're smoking a joint, relaxing, and then getting a great night's sleep? And for me, at 8 p.m., I smoke a joint and I'll go ride the exercise bike for an hour or so. And it sure makes it a lot more tolerable. So maybe even working out, make it a little more tolerable, a little more pleasurable.
I agree. All right, let's talk about the changes that are coming, man, that are actually here. UFC's been very progressive since, but who's the UFC's I'm going to say fanboy for cannabis? Nate Diaz?
Nate Diaz is he's definitely someone that's not afraid to say he smokes cannabis and is an incredible athlete. Yeah, definitely. But a lot of people, jiu-jitsu, Grambo did jiu-jitsu. I did jiu-jitsu. It's one of those things. It's kind of a little bit of a stoner sport. It's the only martial art I've ever seen where they don't care if you're high, because it's a very, it's feeling, and you're just trying to feel somebody off balance. It's very intricate. It's pretty neat.
Interesting. So high, what do you call it? Grappling? Is grappling the correct terminology?
Yeah. I mean, now granted, you don't want it always, but it's making these little movements of seeing, feeling somebody else that's, you're sensing something. It's very, I don't know. It's neat, man.
I'd almost call it meditative.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, good. The UFC no longer considers cannabis a banned substance, but still fines for excessive levels, which is interesting. It says the UFC advised fighters they can be subject, and this is actually when they're in California. I believe most of the fights are going down in Nevada now, but they can be subject to $100 fine, Scotty, which I kind of like. It's like, hey, just throw your thing.
Yeah, right.
But what's that?
I just said rules. Hey, you made the rules. All right, we got to play with them. It says we got to give you a fine. So,
but in Nevada, where cannabis is legal, they're saying, hey, they're adopting the same rule that's going to protect athletes that are being penalized in any form in compliance with their state law. So I like that. So most of the fights go down there anyway, man. People are just coming on board and getting educated on it. What else do these people, you expect them to let loose with a glass of whiskey or some beers when they're ultimate athletes?
No, cannabis is good for healing as well. So I think all athletes should be able to use cannabis. And this is kind of shocking. So does the NCAA. This is the National College Athletic Association. They've removed cannabis from their banned substance list. So they're letting the kids do it now. The college kids get to do it.
And in professional sports, the NFL, they increased, which we talked about this. So the NFL increased THC limits in nanograms from 150 nanograms per milliliter of blood to 350 nanograms per milliliter. And I don't know what that looks like. Like, how many nanograms? Leave us some comments. If I smoke 2 bowls, am I up to 175 nanograms?
No.
How do you gauge that?
I have no idea. I can only imagine they're doing that if it's excessive. Grambo, do you have any ideas, man?
I'm not sure. I know there's a giant panel at the MJ BizCon about it, and they had Ricky Williams there as the panel discussion, and no consensus.
Nice. If anyone was going to test over, you would be him.
Lastly, these are pretty funny. I don't know, not funny, but let's talk about where cannabis is still prohibited. In golf and tennis, it's still prohibited, which is like, huh?
I had to explain to my kid that golf is somewhat of a sport. She was confused. I was like, I'm telling you, most of my friends, they either go out to drink on a Saturday afternoon or they just go get super high. And yeah, golf was explained to me. It's about being in a really beautiful place and having something to do there. And there's a drink cart lady.
They have recently banned it in frisbee golf. I'm just kidding. Frisbee golf's like the ultimate stoner sport.
How about tennis, though? Tennis, man, you have to have laser sharp reactions. I don't think cannabis is performance enhancing with tennis, or at least I would suspect it's not. What do you think?
I disagree, man. I think cannabis can, and it depends, strain dependent, bro. I think it can make you help with, rapid eye situations, focus. And no joke, I do think it's kind of strain dependent in that, if maybe a racy sativa or haze is going to be like, damn, man, I'm jamming today on the court. I could see it.
Grambo, be the ball.
Be the ball.
Be the ball, Grambo. Be the ball.
You like this one?
Yes.
Go ahead. NASCAR.
Come on. That's so awesome, right? Come on. It's hilarious. You can't smoke weed and drive for NASCAR. Come on. What year is this, man? Are we 1950s here or what?
Again, who's to decide how cannabis affects somebody? I'm sure there's people that have been, whatever. We joke on the show about airline pilots or somebody in we actually had a DGC be like, hey, I weld high pressure flammable gas lines underwater in a dive suit, and I will not do it unless ripped.
I'd be so pissed if a guy in NASCAR wrecks me out. And you know how they always fight in the pits and stuff? And he's like, guy's super high. He's like, bro, I'm sorry, man. It's an indica, man. I'm not used to the strain.
I got his car. He's the guy that's going really slow, like just chilling.
I teach my kid, man. I go, there's some things you should do while you're not high, okay? And driving NASCAR would be one of them. I agree. But you know what? On your off time, hang on, it is really silly to think that just because you enjoy cannabis or, man, what is a NASCAR seat? You got 4 hours of a race, and you got how many hours when you're not racing that you've got to relax when you're in an airplane or some strange hotel. And getting a good night's sleep is so paramount to athletic performance, and cannabis is so good for that.
And unfortunately, Mother Nature made it hard because when you toke down, it sticks with you for up to a month at different levels. So that's the one thing that makes all these limits. Trying to put a nanogram limit on cannabis is ridiculous in all situations, driving, sports, whatever. Some people are through the roof and they're functioning completely normal. So
True.
I want to know in the comments, guys, do you think cannabis is performance enhancing in sports, in your life, and in general, maybe in some of your hobbies? Give me some comments below. Is cannabis performance enhancing? Yes.
If you like this video, okay? If you like this video, I want you to hit the like button, all right? If you are not subscribed, I want you to press that subscribe button, all right? If you have a friend, talk about this video with them. And check out the other couple videos YouTube is recommended. All right, take it easy, all y'all.